Well, here we are, and
we're having fun already.
We're having fun. We're having terrific fun. You brought the Zambia flag not just as a show and tell, but we're talking about Zambia.
It's fascinating. Dave Shelley, Director of Crossroads Missions.
Welcome, Dave.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Dave, these colors have real significance.
Yes, they do.
Tell us what you know for sure.
The things I know for sure is the copper color represents the copper industry, which was at one time vibrant, got weak, starting to come back. The green represents agriculture, food, and
it's one of the lush countries,
red
isn't it?
Represents the struggle of independence, which happened many years ago. I think it was 1965. Can't remember the exact date, but yeah, there's a lot of meaning in the flag, and they're very warm and wonderful people.
Aren't they? They're so warm.
Yeah, they are.
We've all been there, and we've all had a peek at what God has been doing there. And we have a new partnership with some wonderful projects. The Lazarus Project, I think our viewers are well acquainted with, but let's get an update there first, Dave.
Yes, I mean, we've got a clip that's going to show some of the historical that some of our viewers will be very familiar with, how it originally started, which was a soup day outreach from the local church, as many ministries do. And then
that was Northmead Church.
Northmead Church in Lusaka, and then they started a program to help the street boys, which back in the early 2000s was a very difficult, challenging problem, because you've both been there, you've seen it.
Literally scooping boys off the street and giving them a home.
Right, giving them a home, and moved from kind of a rented facility to a 40-acre farm, and
we sent
cared
tractors
for.
Over there, didn't we?
We sent a tractor over there and equipment, and
you know what we should do? I think we should just look at the video right now, because it talks about some of this stuff, and then there's also material in there that we can spring out of, because this is a great story. Let's take a look at this Zambia overview by video.
Zambia is one of the most politically stable countries in southern Africa. Yet this landlocked country faces many challenges, being one of the world's poorest and indebted countries. Zambia experiences multiple issues that impact its development, with the effect of HIV/AIDS, poverty, and food shortages that leave the country in crisis. Most farmers own a single plot, barely producing enough to feed their own families. Northmead Assembly of God Church in Lusaka, the capital of Zambia, had a burden to help the impoverished children in their area. The church ladies group took the beginning step of hosting a soup day program once a month. The soup day grew from 50 to 150 in a short time, and they realized the need to help the children living on the streets. The HIV/AIDS epidemic is drastically impacting the country as a whole. As usual, children are particularly vulnerable, and many end up on the streets after losing one or both parents. Children on the street lack access to food, protection, healthcare, and education. Many children resort to theft or commercial sex as a means of survival. Street children are the most vulnerable in society, often experiencing daily abuse and rejection. Crossroads, in partnership with Northmead Assembly of God Church, started what is known as the Lazarus Project. The purpose of the project is to rescue, rehabilitate, and reintegrate street boys back into society. It was discovered that girls tend to be more valuable in the home because they are viewed as more useful, but boys are often abandoned in the streets in Lusaka. In 2002, through caring investors, the Lazarus Project moved from a rented house to a 40-acre farm, which was purchased as a permanent location for the project. This location is rich for agriculture, which provides food for the children, and plenty of space for extracurricular activities such as sports and music. The Lazarus Project is a joint Crossroads CEDA-funded project. The Canadian International Development Agency, CEDA, partnered with Crossroads on the initial development of this project. Through CEDA funding, programs are enhanced to educate and train children and local women from the surrounding community. Recent developments on the farm include a new borehole well and water tank for the garden, and additions to the electric security fence. Work has been done on a greenhouse, which supplies lush, rich fruits and vegetables. This will enable vegetables to be grown year-round in a controlled environment, yielding higher quality produce. The boys will learn a variety of skills through this activity as they apply their agricultural practices. Presently, Lazarus is raising over 200 chickens for food and market, along with teaching the boys entrepreneurial skills and accounting throughout the process. Meanwhile, 3 good-sized fish ponds are now producing fish to feed the children, with a 4th pond to be introduced soon. The Lazarus Project has become a registered community school that teaches children from the surrounding community along with the children at the project. With this goal in mind, the project continues to work towards a future that puts the lives of the children first. A very exciting project that has people literally moving is our mobile medical clinics. Crossroads Missions has joined forces with VisionLed and the Canadian International Development Agency, CIDA, providing valuable medical care to the most vulnerable groups in society, women and children, who are now accessing medical services through these mobile medical clinics. Each community is set up with home-based care groups. They are trained volunteers and professional medical staff who provide outreach to the local community. Presently, there are 10 clinic locations, 5 located in the Cobway area and 5 more located in Siavonga. Each clinic examines close to 200 clients per day. One main component of the clinics is the VCT, or Voluntary Counseling and Testing, which provides HIV/AIDS awareness to the highly vulnerable. VCT Rapid Test is a simple blood test to screen for HIV, which opens the doors for care. If the test is positive, then counseling is provided on the spot to encourage the patient. Next, the client is referred to a government clinic, where they can obtain all important antiretroviral medications. Without the clinics, people would have to walk or travel great distances, some places up to 50 kilometers. The clinics catch most problems before they become serious. Before a clinic arrives, the home-based care team gets to know the people and spread the word when and where the clinic will take place. The mobile medical clinics have helped over 19,565 patients through 104 mobile clinics since its inception in January 2008. All of these exciting and new developments were possible because of the faithful supporters to our missions projects. Please help us to continue to strengthen and change the lives in Zambia.